For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Guys, today we have Ravi Valluri sir with us, and he is the author of 10 books. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on our show. It is my honor to be able to host you today.
Thank you, Gaurav. Welcome the audience.
Pleasure, sir. So, sir, before I get into the podcast and we talk much more about your, upcoming projects, your book, and everything, I would request you to please introduce yourself so that our listeners can know much more about you, and do share how you started this writing journey.
Well, I belong to the Indian Railway Traffic Service, that is through the Civil Services Examination. Currently, I am posted as the Chief Executive Officer of Chhattisgarh East Railway Limited and Chhattisgarh East Railway Limited. Besides, I am a faculty of Art of Living and I write books.
That's quite great, sir.
My journey in writing began in school days. I was very much interested in theatre and music, and that's the time when I started dabbling in writing. But then it faded in background. Subsequently, sometime in 2009 or so, I resumed writing again. First, I had written for Life Positive e-magazine. Then I wrote for Free Press Journal. Then I had shown those articles to my spiritual master, Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankarji, the founder of Art of Living, who advised me that I should write, and he's predicted and prophesied that books would be published. And that's how this miracle happened.
Wow. That's quite amazing, sir. So, sir, after listening to this podcast, many people will just love to explore your books. They will be interested in ordering it and reading it. So, as you have written many books, but specifically we'll talk about a couple of them, like Art of War to Art of Living, and the second one is Tale of Parallels. So what a new reader can expect from these books? Can you share some insights with us?
Art of War to Art of Living is a spiritual fiction. It's a story of a Chinese tech woman who came from very humble background, but rose to dizzy heights after she developed an app in China. She had gone through a big low then. Her app was confiscated. And then she traveled to India westwards, inspired by, after watching a movie on Xuan Zhang. He was a very famous Buddhist scholar way back, almost 1400 years back, who came to India in search of true Buddhist texts. So she followed that journey, and the way Xuan Zhang traveled across India, she also traveled across India, and various incidents in her life, and how she was influenced by Sri Ravi Shankarji, and how she joined the Art of Living. So it's peppered with several anecdotes. It's inspired by a real life incident, and how she achieved something unique. Her journey itself is very inspiring. How from low she reached dizzy heights, lost everything, then again regained. So that's her story, and it's a very inspiring fiction. And A Tale of Parallels, that is a collection of short stories which there's a saying by George Bernard Shaw: if history repeats itself and the unexpected always happens, how incapable man must be of learning from experience.
Wow.
So basically, it teaches that if we don't learn from history, we are forced to repeat those mistakes. Here, I have been deeply influenced by the epic Mahabharata, Zen stories, and I have intertwined that with modern day incidents and coalesced stories in that manner.
So, sir, like, when was the first time your book was released? Like, in which year?
The first book was released in the year 2016. It's
Okay.
called The Matter of Mind.
Mhm.
This was released by Gurudev Sri Ravi Shankar himself on
Wow.
Navratri Day, which was a
Mhm.
very big, very high moment for me in the presence of more than 50, 60,000 devotees of at Bangalore Ashram of Art of Living.
Hmm.
It deals with human mind, consciousness, on yoga, on addictions, and how to overcome addictions, how to make the mind strong.
Mhm.
Then it's about the unique breathing technique of Sudarshan Kriya.
Hmm.
Then it's about various courses of Art of Living and my journey of how I joined the Art of Living and tales and stories of people who joined Art of Living and
Hmm.
how they benefited.
Okay.
And essentially to empower the mind.
Mhm.
That is the story behind that book, The
Okay.
Matter of the Mind.
Mhm. So, my question to you is, sir, ki, like, after the first lockdown was over, like, we are in this industry from more than 7 years as of now, and after the first lockdown was over, have personally seen a boom in this industry. Like, numbers of author got increased very rapidly, and in fact, the publishing has become much more easier as it was used to be. We have KDP, then we have lots of literary agents, very much, self-publishing houses are there, everything is there. But you are
Yes.
someone who is in this industry, way before the lockdown was there. So
Mhm.
how you have seen this industry evolving? Like, अपनी book को stand out कराना कितना मुश्किल हो गया है अभी, because many people have even said that the numbers of authors are more as compared to number of readers as of now. So what's your take
ऐसी
on
बात
this?
नहीं है. The number of readership in India has increased phenomenally.
Hmm.
Of course, the largest books which are sold in India are textbooks,
Hmm.
and that the books which go to the libraries, the books which students read, that
Hmm.
forms a segment in itself.
Hmm.
Then both fiction, non-fiction, spiritual books, mythologies, all these come in yet another category.
Hmm.
So both things have happened. Because of the lockdown, I think a lot of people got that they had to, they were engaged in to give a shape to their urge of
Hmm.
writing or reading or whatever. So that helped. That as a flip side, people started getting involved in this field.
Hmm. Hmm.
And as you had rightly pointed out, several literary agents have come up. This is a very good phenomenon which is there in the West, which wasn't there earlier. So,
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
was earlier tradition? I mean, it was traditional publishing or self-publishing. Now we have literary agents who help in this way.
True.
And secondly, I find number of writing platforms have come up, like Readsy Prompts, Penmancy, Story Mirror, a
Hmm.
large number of them. Then blogs like WordPress.
Ah,
These are all giving exposure to upcoming authors.
true. Definitely. So, sir, like, I have been talking to like many authors as of now. Like, we have completed more than 200 plus episodes of this podcast, and most of them are working towards making their name as a brand. Like, they want to be known, remembered as a certain genre, certain type of author. So when it comes to you, like, you have written more than 10 books as of now, and अगर आज आपकी कोई book release हो and there's a person who have read all your books, so what
Mhm.
sudden impact you want to create on that reader's mind? क्योंकि ठीक है, it's a book by Ravi Valluri sir, तो book में मुझे ये मिलेगा, या I will get these things from the book, ये book ऐसी होगी. Ever thought of this kind of personal branding, sir?
Yes, I write both fiction and non-fiction,
Hmm.
and both have audience, and people relate to me in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
I myself have gone through, the addiction of alcoholism. I was
Okay.
an alcoholic for a very long period of time,
Mm-hmm.
almost 10 to 12 years. And I
Okay.
came out of alcoholism through the Art of Living Foundation, the grace of his master, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji. So I have a big clientele there where I write on human mind, on yoga, on pranayama, on Sudarshan Kriya. That is one segment. Then I contribute a lot to anthologies, and people ask me to share my stories there. And then fiction, whether it is Art of War to Art of Living, then short stories, that's yet another segment. So I would like to be remembered both as a writer of fiction and non-fiction, both. And I mean, my dream is to write, OTT scripts. Then I have written for leading papers like Free Press Journal. Currently, I contribute a weekly column to The Pioneer, which is the second oldest newspaper in India. Every week there's a column which I write. And I also dream of relearning Hindustani classical music and then relating it to my writing. So these are some of the areas where I would like to strive for.
Okay. So what's your current writing schedule, sir? Like, do you devote some particular hours to your writing, or it's like random? Sometimes you get some thought, you just jot it down on your phone in a diary, and आप उसको elaborate करते हैं. How does it goes with you?
I try to write about 700, 800 words a day. That is my whole effort. It could be any time in the morning, afternoons, particularly in evenings when I get back from work. That is the plan. And as you mentioned, I maintain some kind of a diary or on my phone where I write down the plots so that I remember what I have written.
So, sir, my next question to this podcast is like, as of now, we have talked about your book, about your, what's your views on some different topics. But what's your upcoming plan? Like, you're someone who is, in this industry, who is someone who is in the long race. Like, you're someone जिसने बहुत सारी books publish करनी है, and you're here with some big plans. I personally feel that. So, what are your upcoming plans? You want to stick to on this genres only, or you want to try and experiment on some other genres as well? What's your in the pipeline? Is there anything as of now that you can share with us?
Immediately, my latest book, which would be hitting the market, is another collection of short stories that is called Bombay Review and Other Stories. Then in the next few years, I would like to write a few novels, and it's my dream to write for major newspapers and leading magazines. And of course, I would really like to contribute to OTT. That is one area I'm exploring, if it's possible. I have contacted, and some people have also contacted me. So that's still to mature. And my real interest has been, acting. I would like to dabble into acting, and I had dabbled also in Hindustani classical music. So I would like to relearn that. So those are some of the areas where I would like to. And I'm also interested in politics. That is one area I would like to enter sometime if it's possible.
In fact, that book I have just seen, you have written a book, Namo 303 Words to Victory.
Yes. Yeah. And that's on the Prime Minister of India. In fact, that came as a big splash. Suddenly, I was, working on spiritual quotes of Gurudev Shri Ravi Shankar. And it so happened in 2019 when the election results had come. Suddenly I realized, why not write on the Honorable Prime Minister? And it's been published by a very leading platform, Red Ink literary agent, Anuj Bahari. And they are the ones, they're Bahari and brothers, Bahari and Sons, they have published this book.
Wow. Okay. So, sir, let's get back to the time in 2016 when your first book was released. At that particular eve, when you heard, okay, tomorrow your book will be live, everybody will be able to see it, will be able to buy it, read it, judge you basically on the basis of what you have written. So, on that particular eve, what was going in your mind, if you could recall? Like, were you stressed, were you relaxed? या फिर you have just marked up some milestones कि okay, these many people know me, my book has to be sold out these many copies in these days? What is going in your mind?
At that time, the focus was only that Gurudev Shri Shri Ravi Shankar is going to release the book. That was my only focus, nothing else. And that itself was such a big moment, because he's the spiritual master who's known worldwide, followers in 180 countries in the world. So that was the only thought in my mind. And when he had released it, it was a moment of great relief and happiness, true joy. And then once he had released it, then just everything disappeared. So yes, I felt very happy. It's only later that it sunk in me that, oh, my first book got released. And that's when people came to know. And they saw the photograph of Sri Sri Ravi Shankar ji releasing my book. And I became a celebrity in the Art of Living fraternity. Everybody knows me in Art of Living because of my writing. So that was one very big achievement, I would say, in my career.
Definitely, sir. In fact, so sir, like if you were given two, like chances, options, whatever you want to say, you can just understand it. Like the one thing which you want to change in the publishing industry, and the one thing which you want to change in this marketing distribution thing in this book industry. So what it would be?
Number one, I would like literary agents to play a major role in helping people to publish books, emerging writers. More contests to be organized, say, by corporates, and they can choose good writers, emerging writers. Third, I think writers themselves should collaborate. Emerging writers or published writers, they should help each other. And that's how, through this team spirit, more and more people will get this opportunity. That is one aspect. Marketing, yes, that is one area which needs a lot of input, because that seems to be locked up by certain places, certain bookstores. So that needs investment, where perhaps the government can help, libraries can help, corporates can help, then public sector enterprises can help, and where you're working, that industry can help. So it has to be a collaboration between the two.
Okay. That's quite amazing. In fact, that would definitely help the upcoming authors as well. And
it's like, say cricket. Once, I'm not comparing myself to Dhoni. When Dhoni came, till then, cricket was all in the metros. But when youngster from Ranchi, and then जो एक TT था railways में, and he emerged as a superstar. He won us the T20 Cup, 2011 Cup. Now you have cricketers all over India, from small Mofussil towns. Shubman Gill from some village in Punjab, Shami from some town of UP, and Bumrah from some vague corner of Gujarat. Same with Jadeja. So how it has expanded. So that kind of a thing is required.
True. In fact, sir, the same thing happens when the Prime Minister Narendra Modi came in. Like, before 2014. What I have personally, that's completely my personal opinion, sir. Like, before 2014, like I am from Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. So before that, the politics was something not everyone was talking about. Like, the high school boys, the college going students, they were not interested in this. But once the Prime Minister steps in, everybody as of now is completely interested in like what he says, and people know who is the finance minister, who is this minister, that minister. They are tremendously talking about it at all time. So
I agree with you, because I worked for 3.5 years in Prayagraj, North Central Railway.
Mhm.
And I was also at Gorakhpur, and Varanasi came under Northeastern Railway. So I visited Varanasi so many times. And what you're saying, I truly agree. And अब तो किसी को जाना चाहिए बनारस, वहाँ गंगा आरती देखने के लिए.
बिल्कुल
पूरा सब तोड़ दिया है, और किस तरह अब
बिल्कुल
आप
बिल्कुल
सीधा
बिल्कुल
शिव मंदिर जा सकते हैं.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर.
So it is a fact.
पूरी चीजें ही काफी बदल दी गई हैं. The way that man has glorifies everything ना completely. बहुत बहुत. So, sir, my probably last question to this podcast, like, after listening to this podcast, many people will just start writing, or they must be holding their first draft in their hand, in their laptop. So, what would be your advice for those upcoming authors?
सबसे पहले, I think one should be patient, because this is some kind of a tapasya. इतनी जल्दी, don't be in a hurry to get your things published. My advice would be first to read as much as possible, get the mastery of the subject. Like right now, I'm reading Oppenheimer. I saw the movie recently. I don't know whether you've seen it. So I'm reading the book. So reading is very essential. Secondly, develop your vocabulary and write on various platforms, like which I mentioned, say the Story Mirror, Penmancy, Readsy prompts, and see all your chisel it, and try to attend writing workshops. Secondly, I've always advocated it, and in various interviews this I have said, and I ad nauseum I say it again, which I do myself, that you maintain 3 diaries. In fact, one of my stories in A Tale of Parallels is also called 3 diaries. One diary is to maintain, to develop your vocabulary. Like note down 20 new words every day. कोई भी भाषा में आप लिखते हो, English हो, Hindi हो, whatever. Totally new words, and develop your vocabulary. Second is you write down plots. Whatever random thoughts are coming to your mind, just write it. And third is write down 700 words. It can be a laptop or whatever. So, आप देखेंगे that over a period of time, your book is ready. Then, once we reach that stage, then comes the publishing. Let the product be ready first, and hone it. Get it edited properly. You need a very good editor. Luckily, my wife, she edits my books, so I have an editor at home. That helps me a lot.
Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this lovely and inspiring conversation with Ravi sir. If you do, then do follow our podcast, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. आप just Amazon पे जाएं, वहाँ पे सर्च करें रवि वल्लूरी सर की सारी बुक्स आ जाएंगी. जरूर खरीदें, पढ़ें और अपने चाहने वाले जानवरों को जरूर शेयर करें. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on my show. It was my honor to be able to host you today.
Thank you, Gaurav, and thank you all the listeners. Good night.